Renson Haynes is here tonight. Yeah, that was his dad, man. So we say welcome to each and every one, man. So tonight is going to be a very nice interactive program. Yeah, man. So first thing first, this program is a very friendly, family-oriented program. Please be respectful for each and every one. Yeah, man. We don't want no controversy. We're not gonna this we're gonna embarrass somebody over here. We just come here to have a good time and just listen to what the big man have to say. His plans for the future, for the kids, and for soccer in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So let me welcome our guest, our feature guest tonight, Renson. Renson.
So, greetings. Thanks for having me, my brother.
Good
Thanks
night.
for having me.
Good night. So everybody can hear you good tonight. We have no issues, so we're
Yeah,
good to
so it
go.
is. And thanks for Vincy Lion for keeping your word. I said to you, you owe me one, and you were right back at it in making sure that you have me again, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Everything is intact technically, so good to go.
yeah,
Thanks for
man.
having me again.
Yeah, a lot of people was disappointed last week, but no, we have to fix that. That's what we do around here. So thanks again on behalf of the whole team. We say thanks for giving us your time because time is precious, man. So we
Yeah,
appreciate you.
definitely. Most definitely.
So before we start, just tell us a little bit of who we speaking with, Renson Haynes. When we say somebody say Renson Haynes, tell us a little bit about you before we get into the soccer thing.
Well, I mean, I must first of all, for the intro there, that's a very ambassadorial intro, I shall say. With my dad, Winston Soso, man. As you know, I dearly miss him. It's a bit of bittersweet hearing you playing those songs, and but he continued to rest in peace. He continued to rest in peace. I know his spirit is around looming here in me, so that I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? And I could tell you this too, not to get too emotional, but just him knowing I'm doing this here and something that before he passed, we've had this discussion, and I said, Dad, I'm considering certain things in terms of the football presidency, and he was like, that is very ambitious, son. I'm happy for you, and please go and give your best. So, um, born and raised in Calico, went to the primary school, the Calico Anglican School. After that, I moved on to the St. Vincent Boys Grammar School, and then on to the St. Vincent Community College. We were the first set of students to actually christen the community college back then, and then move on to the United States of America on a football scholarship. Um, with me being there and with me being able to learn the game of football on a different level, played for the Simmons, the former national footballer with the youth 60s, the youth 20s, the U under 23 and the senior men's. You know, Yvette is my mother, but I know in terms of the parents, everybody like, who's Yvette? But when you say the father, Winston, so everybody knows him. So, like I would tell at times, listen, man, you can't blame me, So is a very popular guy. So, um, but yeah, just a humble young man, man. I've resided here in the United States over 22 years, and because of the COVID situation, I was forced to be back in St. Vincent for stuck over a year and a half. And with me giving my life to Christ, I did a lot of meditating and praying and trying to figure out some things. COVID made you think. COVID made things so unpredictable. It made you sit back and think and wonder, what's next? When is this going to end? And in doing that, I felt led from the Most High to Renson be a voice. You've always been somebody doing different things. After I retired from football officially, I've been doing different promotion. It was Awesome Vibes Entertainment, and I did promotion in New York for about 9, 10 years. I had all white boat ride every Labor Day weekend, every Friday night. Skinny, Luther, James EP, DJ Taras, just name them, man. Bomani, everybody, Problem Child, and I got the plug because of I'm so son. So I said, Dad, tell them guys, man, I'm calling them, and I don't want nobody to charge me, man. And you don't say, hey, they say, listen, this is so son. Don't play with my son. Don't charge him no money. So I'm just playing, but I was able to get all these entertainers, man, and respects for who I am, and because of my dad, and I had great relationship with these guys. And then after giving my life to Christ, I decided that I would be a more subtle in terms of what I do. So that's when I made a transition to just focus on only sports. And listen, I'm not judging anybody, but that was my personal decision to move from promoting of parties and that secular thing onto just doing sports promotion. And then in doing that, I have been involved in sports administration for over 12 years, and I decided to do my sports promoting company now, which is Awesome Sports International. Do popular events here in St. Vincent, the celebrity soccer jingle ball, which is very big during the Christmas time, where the prisoners would play against police and the celebrity team and other events. So that's where I'm at. That's where it is now. That's the history, and I'm here. Just continue with my great ambitions and to make my dad and everyone else who know me proud.
Yeah, yeah. And I follow you on social media. I always see you talking about your faith, and you always try to encourage people. So why you taking that step to talk about your faith? Because a lot of people scared to speak about the faith openly, So why you not scared of doing that, and you love to do that?
Well, it's the funny thing is I wouldn't say funny, but in me deciding to give my life to Christ, and in me being that party promoter, right? I will talk about, yeah, Skinny coming through tonight, and you're going to see Luther tonight, and James P. And I used to be so vibrant with it. After giving my life to Christ, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I just have this sporting event, kind of subtle. And I felt in the spirit like God is saying, you used to be so boisterous when you're promoting these parties and all these boat rides. Now you are so subtle. Now you've given your life to me. Like, all right, you know what? So because of that, I felt him telling me, go into the world, go and be bold, speak of me without any shame, speak of me and be bold. And man, listen, it was probably I think was over 2 years right after, and I was never a social media guy. I actually joined Facebook. I think was October 2020, September October of 2020. And from then, and I felt him saying, "Go and be bold. Speak of me proudly. Speak of me boldly." And I'm gonna tell you this, Colin, man. The amount of persons who I encourage on a weekly basis, man. I'll be getting so much phone calls, so much inbox messages, people from all over the world. So much of the former national footballers I played with in different countries who are coaches right now, other who are actually presidents of football federation, sporting organizations, athletes, some in the professional world. They reach out, Renson, man, I'm telling you, you want encouragement because the Renson I know who was out there like a crazy guy doing so much crazy thing. You are an inspiration. So even by them doing that, it made me realize the importance of me being bold in my walk with God and not being ashamed. And I'm telling you, the positive effects of that, it is mind blowing. And all that does is encourage me to continue doing even more.
Yeah, man, we need it, man, because these kids need somebody to look up to, man, because so much kids out there looking for a guidance, So you've been out there and you've been so popular. That's really good for the kids to see.
Yeah, and even to talk about that real quick, I would meet parents in town. I mean, I was even in New York this summer. I met persons on a bus. You, Mr. Haynes? I'm looking at you. I know you. I know you based in Simmons. I just want to be sure that's you. And I said, yes, it's me. I met parents who said, listen, my young man, my son, he don't go to church. He don't want to hear nothing about whatever. But because of you, when my young son hear you talking about Renson, my young son be locked on every Sunday to hear you just to encourage people in Christ. These are the things that really moved me. I mean, I met people who said, Renson, my little daughter, she's a bit troubled. Could you call me and pray for my daughter? My daughter said she would like to talk to you, meet you in person. Man, I'm telling you, the positive effects of this is something that I didn't expect, but I'm not going to complain because now I've started mentoring programs. I have kids I mentor, young soccer kids I mentor. They call me, they reach out to me. It's mind blowing, but I'm so happy.
Yeah, man. Javin, big up yourself one time, man. I see the ball and just log on. So yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I really like that. So where you got all this passion from, man? You have like, just getting to know you and watch your videos and stuff. You have all this passion about sports. Where that come from?
It's from since I was a little kid. Being able to play soccer there at the Calico Primary School. And what really triggered it was in a positive way. Obviously, when people hear trigger, they think it's something traumatic, but no, this is a positive trigger. When I was about, um, I would say, probably when I was in the grammar school, and I was with a national youth on the 16 team, and I would tell my mom, "Mom, I'm dreaming of getting a football scholarship." And she would say, "What are you talking about? What do you mean football scholarship? Who gets football scholarship?" I said, and like I said last week, Fitz Bramble has always been someone I would, for other reasons too. Growing up, I'm like, I want to be Fitz Bramble. When I was in grammar school, I'm looking at, I mean, listen, Fitz, I'm not trying to call you out, man, but I'm going to be straight, okay? I'm talking about hopefully the past. I know you're going to kill me for this one. Back then, I'm looking at Fitz Bramble, the pretty boy, the girls, and the soccer player, and I'm like, I want to be Fitz Bramble. And what really encouraged me, man, was he got a scholarship in 1983. And I would tell my mom, I want to get a scholarship like Fitz. She's like, you want to be, you are this Fitz Bramble, you want to, everything about, I'm like, yeah, but mom, he got a scholarship, man, a soccer scholarship. And listen, lo and behold, back then, like I said, back then it was pretty scarce. I was able to. I actually used to have visions about me getting a scholarship. And then when I got that scholarship in 2001, man, that's when my mom were like, "Wow!" And I went to the United States. I'm just playing soccer on a high level, being able to play in Division One soccer and understand the transition and just seeing the benefits. Over $100,000, it doesn't cost me anything. You know what I'm saying? And that was the inspiration. So at that times when I would come back to play for the Vincy team, I would see the youths and they're like, Renson. I mean, this was kind of like forced upon me as well because I didn't really see myself as to care that much to inspire others, or I didn't see myself as such an inspiration to others. But when the kids come in, when the youths come in, when the national team playing and I score a goal and all these youths, and I'm like, nah, this is definitely a sign that I have to. And I just became so passionate, man, to the point where my mom and all my friends are like, yo, you a madman from soccer, man. Soccer gonna send you crazy. I would lose a game and I would cry. I used to get so emotional. So that emotion just came to the place where I just had that unselfish attitude where I got to do for others. And then from since then, man, me retiring and being in football administration, being a head of a local organizing committee when St. Vincent traveled to the US and played that game back in 2017. All these responsibilities, and I'm like, nah, this is not a coincidence. I must be a voice. I must be an inspiration. I must be a mentor. And from that, I just decided to just take my passion on a whole different level. And I promise you, I'm going to my grave. It ain't gonna change.
Nice, nice. So you're speaking about scholarship. A lot of people was confused with the Shafika Maloney situation, right?
Hmm?
I wanted to take it from after the kids them get a scholarship, they pay for
Yes.
everything. But after
Yes.
graduation, you want to be a professional. I think that's the confusion. A lot of people didn't understand that part between amateur to professional, the difference.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, well, I would say this. In soccer, it's a little different than in track and field. I'm gonna say that. Track and field, you run in your own. Soccer, you play soccer with a team. It's different because I don't think. I mean, you look at thousands of soccer contracts out there. As long as you're a good player on the team, you're outstanding. They look at you and they say, "Okay, Renson is a good striker." When he's done, but before you even graduate, you got, I mean, when you enter the draft, the MLS draft or whatever draft, as you getting ready to be wrapped up at college in that last year, there are pro teams. There's a companies want to endorse you. They, even before you get into a draft or you enter on a tryout with a pro team, I mean, 10, 20, 50 pro teams, as long as you're outstanding, they reach out to you before you even get a chance to think what you want to do. So in soccer, you will get that attention. In track and field, for Shafika in this example, it's a little more difficult. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I know with her situation, it's a bit unfortunate because she's out there running on her own, proving what she have to prove. If I play soccer and I have a good goalkeeper where my team doesn't concede a lot of goals, I have a good midfielder who knows how to go down the line, like my boy Kenai with the national team, know how to play me in. I will score the goals and everybody say Renzo score these goals, but let's face it, I've had other persons who have assisted in creating that goal. But then when I score the goal, they're gonna say we need a striker, we need to give him a professional contract. With Shafika, she gonna go out there and run. Ain't nobody gonna be running with her. especially when it's like the 800 meter, the 400 meter, unless it's like the relays. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the easiest of transition, especially in track and field. In tennis, in these type of sports, it's different. In cricket, you basically don't have like a cricket scholarship. You would know if, you got to go straight into the pros, like a Sunil Lambert who went to grammar school, awesome cricketer. I always said, and I'm like, listen, if you had cricket scholarship, someone like him, but as an example. But these are persons who have to go out there, and the road for the pros is a little different. With soccer, if you're in the U.S. in college, you get drafted. Like Shafika, I mean, correct me. I think I might be correct. I'm stand to be corrected, but I don't think there is like a draft. After she's done and she graduates, it's just a matter of convincing someone to give her a contract to be a pro athlete. You know what I'm saying? But with soccer, it's different. You move right into a draft. Like Kimani Baines. He just entered the draft, the MLS draft, and he was number 4. Automatically, you're number 4. You don't have to worry. You know what I'm saying? Adidas is actually having conversation with Kimani. You know, Nike. I mean, hopefully, I'm not touting his information, but Nike reached out and said, "Hey, hold on. I know Adidas want to offer you this, but Nike want to talk to him about this." I mean, this kid is on the verge of probably getting the shoes coming out in his MLS rookie season. So the transition is not the easiest for like Shafika in track and field. And I know it's more difficult where now she experienced some financial situations. She have to get a job, hopefully be able to, in a very scarce situation where not much athlete track and field would just get a contract like that. She have to be literally so outstanding. But if you look at soccer contracts out there, I mean, you need 11 players in a soccer team, right? So when you want to give a soccer player a contract, you have to give an entire team a contract because you're a pro club. But with Shafika, it's like a one person got to get this contract. So it's a whole different thing. It's not as common, it's not as popular, so it's even harder for her. But kudos to her, man. I know the situation was not the best. I see she's been getting a lot of help, and I really pray that she will continue to excel and do it, and hopefully bring home an Olympic gold. Her and Handel Roban as example.
Yeah, man. So, do you think we need to have like a safety net because sports tourism is very big in the world, man? You have a outstanding athlete from your country that could do wonders for your country. So I think we really need a safety net for the outstanding athletes, them that they do not have to go through what Shafika went through,
Most definitely, most definitely. Like that situation. There has to be a way. I mean, and I said I'm being very careful. Like I said in a video I did on social media, was I saw over 11,000 views. I'm like, whoa. I mean, person hitting me up. I'm like, I honestly didn't expect it to get that much of attraction. But like I said in that video, there got to be support. The local association, you got to support. I mean, this is a star athlete for St. Vincent. She's going to run in the Olympics. She's going to be outstanding. So we have to find a way. And like I also said, not just a local association, man. We got to have these corporate St. Vincent got to get on board. The DG Sauce, the floors, the subways, the rock hard cement, and Orion Gonzalez probably like, Renson, man, you're calling out all my companies, bro. You putting me out there. But yes, Ryan, I'll put you out there because I just believe that, the all these corporate St. Vincent companies, the National Lottery, the St. Vincent Brewery, we gotta get out there and let's identify these athletes. So like if I'm in college playing soccer and pro clubs are looking at me as soon as I enter the draft to select me, because unfortunately Shafika and these athletes and other someone who played tennis may not be entering the draft like that. We are depending on these companies to you draft them. You know what I'm saying? You draft them in. Haroon, when you see Shafika doing well, listen, your marketing team, reach out to Shafika. Hey, Shafika, we see you doing well. We have Vitamalt. We would like you to be an ambassador for the Haroon, for St. Vincent Brewery. I'm just giving examples. They got Flow Digital. Listen, reach out. Let Shafika have to make a decision because Flow's reaching out, Digital is reaching out, and she got to make up her mind. Listen, the higher bidder win because this is business, right? Let get our radio stations on board. We have so much programs on the morning programs, all the programs. Let's have our athletes on these radios doing interviews. Let's have them on billboards. When you come into the airport, let us see a Olex Anderson and a Shafiq Maloney billboard at the airport, for example. I mean, and these are the things. So The transition may not always be the easiest, but there are ways, man. There are ways that we got to give these athletes the support. And everything I just said there is basically everything combined in different ways in which we could support these athletes. And you know what's going to happen? They don't have an excuse because now, you know what I'm saying? Now, Irene is she's an Irene ambassador. Robin is an ambassador for Floor Digital as an example. And like I said, all these other companies. So guess what? Financially, you're good. You're getting your endorsement. So now you go out there, you perform, you protect your brand, protect what and who you represent, including St. Vincent, protect that flag, protect that brand, protect that sponsor, and just go. You know, to me, that's a driving force they need, and we need to make sure that they are supported in these capacities.
Yeah, man. Look at today for St. Lucia, man. All the city St.
Oh,
Lucia.
listen,
Man, St.
listen,
Lucia cannot pay the athlete for
listen,
that kind of
listen.
problem, man. Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, man. I was actually heading back. Went to a function there, and on my way back, because I was following it. You know what I'm saying? But because of where I was, I didn't get to follow. And when I saw, man, below 7 seconds, man, I think it was 6.98 or whatever. Listen, this young lady, I'm telling you, listen, I've had opportunities to connect, like with the popular, well-known world athletes. I've had opportunities to communicate with them, but I'm telling you, her and Shafika Maloney and Handel Roman, they are my three, man. They are my three. Kirani James, I'm sorry, man. I don't think you're gonna probably listen to this, but I'm just saying, man. Like, listen, these three, St. Lucia and St. Vincent. That's my push for this coming Olympics. She has been doing absolutely amazing, and this young lady, man, she is putting St. Lucia on the map in a very big way.
I know, man. That's millions of dollars
Oh
added
yes,
right there, man. Millions
oh
of
yes.
dollars, man. So yeah, we have a lot of things to touch, man. But before I go any further, I see you hanging out with my boy Kenai, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, listen. And he's a kind of shy guy too. Eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
And
say, watch now.
we grew up
Yeah,
together. We grew up
because
together. So
we grew
I
up
know.
together.
Yeah, man. We
Nice,
play soccer
nice, nice.
together. Yeah, man. We went to school together.
Wow.
Everything. Yeah, man. I'm a
Alan,
boy. I'm a boy.
Alan, you know the thing too, man. Can I didn't want me on this. Can I know even today when he saw this flyer, he buzzed me and he didn't tell me this. As I could have find out from him how much a lot he used to give to you, man.
Nah,
I'm
nah, nah,
piling.
nah, 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 nah. We teammate from since about maybe
Oh,
four.
teammate.
Yeah, from 14 around 13, 14, we grew up together, man, and just play soccer. We play for Frenches. They
Oh, wow.
went to Bethel together. They represent
I
St.
didn't know that,
Vincent.
Colin, man. Let me find out, man. I know you. What? Boy, were you smart? Because I'm gonna tell you this. You with Kenai, trust me. You'd rather be on Kenai team than opposing Kenai.
I know, man,
Unbelievable.
bro.
Listen, man.
We went St. Lucia for the intersecondary school tournament, bro.
Wow.
The whole of St. Lucia adapt the fella, brother.
Listen, Kenai Velox, when we play with the national team, when I would come back from college to play. And he said, young boy, come here. I was like, who you calling young boy? I don't young boy. I would just give him attitude and he say, humble yourself, man. I'm joking. And then from then, that first time when I came back from the US, I'm thinking, look, and then I heard of him, but I've seen him when I back in Thompson Floodlight. I saw him, but because I went to the US and then me and Ken I connected, man. And from then he was my roommate in all the national team. Every time we travel, he was my roommate and mentoring me and listen, man, media in Trinidad with Kenai, I'm telling you, Kenai is big in Trinidad. When I tell you big, I mean I was there with him in VIP, and boy, I felt like a groupie, man. I with him with Kenai and everybody, and he introducing me to all the greats, the greats there in Trinidad, all these legends. And I met even some of the corner Glens and the Angus, even all those players there who play for Trinidad, what time when we played against them, St. Vincent, and just being there with Kenai, man. As much as I might think I'm known with Kenai, I'm telling you, bro, he is a legend in Trinidad. Walking into that stadium during the game, after the game, players even shouting, "All they want 10 envelopes by, all they want 10 I feel by." But and I mean, I'm like, it's crazy. Yeah. So Kenai, unbelievable, unbelievable. Such a great character, such a humble soul. And I'm telling you, man, just connecting there with Kenai was definitely a blessing.
Yeah, but let me get a quick story, can I, right? So we
Yeah,
went St. Lucia to represent St. Vincent inter-secondary school team. You
right.
know, we just won the tournament back home from Bethel, you know. So we went there and things. Came back from St. Lucia. I had a good tournament. I met the inter-secondary school team after the make right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. So can I pull me up, bro?
Yeah.
After we came back, so we, about the same bike, came to me straight and said, yo, I didn't like your behavior. You did not perform the way I expect you to perform.
Wow.
Yeah. And from that, bro, anything I do in life, because of conversation, I take it serious,
Yeah.
man. Anything
Hmm.
I do in life, that's so because of Kenai, I really changed my mindset about how to do things, So I always be professional. Anything I do, man, I try to be professional. So big up
Yeah, man,
yourself, Kenai,
definitely.
one time.
Yeah, man. Big up to Kenai, man. This guy is a legend, man, in as great capacities and as great as you could be in terms of a legend. And as you see there, I had him meet, Sebastian Alexander, our number five in the midfield there for the under 20 team. Pretty good talent, man. And Kenai was very impressed with him. And had the luxury of him connecting because I met him in training here in St. Vincent because I would go there and look at them train ever so often. So just him meeting Kenai and just seeing Kenai talking with him there, and I'm like, and Kenai he coached right there in Trinidad too, with the Northeast Stars, the pro club, the Caledonia. He coached their academy and coached their under 20 team, and so Kenai is very knowledgeable, man. Kenai is such a great leader, humble guy, and I know. Just to give him this plug, Kenai got things to do for football in St. Vincent. I can tell you that much. You heard it from me. I figure people are already looking and figuring. I know Renson. I mean, people even when I came back here, they say, "You up to something?" I'm like, "Is it something bad? Can I deserve to come back here and be able to impact and show influence on these youths and mentorship and part of a coaching staff where they could learn so much?" I mean, you in the locker room and Kenai is there. Come on, man. I mean, even the Trinidad team, my boy, Latipi, he walked into that locker room with these youths, man, on the Trinidad's first game. And just Latipi walking in that dressing room, you look at some of these kids' eyes, man. Yo, this is Latipi, man. The best Caribbean player, rated the best Caribbean player of all time. And he was there, he's hugging these youths and encouraging them. I wanted to do that with St. Vincent too, but I mean, listen, you got to show respect and honor. And I believe in that. Normally I would go and talk to the youths. Normally I would go into the locker room and be that. But I show respect because, with all fairness, with me running for presidency, it would not be right. You know what I'm saying? You have a current president, you have a current executive. I mean, to me, there's boundaries. I can, because of me now going for presidency, walk into a locker room or want to, or even ask, thinking, no, I don't think that was right. So, but still, Ken, I was able to meet several of the players. I introduced them to him, and they were all happy to meet Kenai.
Yeah. Big up Kenai sister Jasmine and the live one time.
Yeah, I
So
know Jasmine. Yeah, I asked him. I say, can I this Jasmine envelopes? I see she for the moment I post something, boy. He said, "That's my sister. That's my sister." Can I don't talk much, and he said, "Yeah, that's my
yeah,
sister."
yeah.
And he just said, "I'm my sister. Leave it alone." Like, bro, can I connect with Jasmine? Can I? A man of few words, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
big
yeah.
up to Jasmine too, man. He told me that's
Yeah.
his sister because I was like, I always see this Jasmine, and he said that's his sister. So, Jasmine, big up yourself, man.
Okay, so we stay in Trinidad right about now. So tell us the impression the under 20 soccer in Trinidad, the tournament, then we go touch the same as the team.
Great, great potential. I mean, listen, the way we started there against Trinidad, we were 2-0 up. St. Vincent 2, Trinidad nil. You ain't getting a better start than that. I mean, coming up against a team who home. And I know Trinidad, they got some players there from Europe. So just that showing alone. I mean, after that game, people saw me, a lot of Trini people, they were very impressed with St. Vincent team. I mean, I'll be straight up with you. A lot of them said that Trinidad should not have won that game. So because of that, they said it, and it reminded me of when me and Kenai when we played as well. Before my last game against Trinidad, there in Trinidad too at that same stadium when we had them 1-0, that World Cup qualifier, man. When they moved on to that World Cup in 2006, you know, we had them 1-0. I scored a goal, and it was to the 88th minute. We had them 0-0. And that same Angus Eve, to this day, I always tell him, man, I hate you, man. The coach for the Trinidad senior men right now, he came and scored a free kick at the 88th minute. 1-1, and then they scored the winning goal at the 92nd minute, 2 minutes in extra
In
time.
the first
So
minute and a half in the game, we have a penalty. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, our Vincy Heat team penalty in the first minute and a half of the game. As we line up here now for the penalty, very good start for our beloved Vincy Heat. Not sure which players that lining up. Looks like the captain Courtney, right? Look like Courtney. Think it is. Let's go. Let's go, Vincy Heat. Let's go. Way to start. Way to start. Let's go, boys. Way to start. Let's go. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, our Vincy Heat, up one in the first minute and a half.
yeah, you can ask a better start than that. As I said, you there in a home against Trinidad at home, and they don't like us though, because like I said, even back in our time, I mean, listen, it goes to tell you from the moment this type of performances Ken I had against Trinidad and Chandel, like I would go back to the US, but Chandel and Ken, they're like, these guys not leaving Trinidad. I'm telling you, Chandel, I mean, listen, Ken I never left. I mean, the former FIFA vice president, Jack Warner, man, from the moment this guy saw the way Ken I mesmerized that midfield against Trinidad, Ken I was with it. He gave him a contract with Foot Republic, and Ken I never left Trinidad to this day. Ken I is as big as any other legend there in Trinidad.
Wow, 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 wow. So before we touch same as the team itself, any outstanding player like somebody really caught your attention?
Yeah, I was very impressed with Sebastian, number 5 during the midfield. Very very good touches. I could see that he's definitely ready for a different level. He's there in college in the U.S. as well, in Florida, and I had a conversation with him, and I said, Sebastian, I mean, quite unbelievably enough, he's not playing for his college team. You know what I'm saying? And I said, you gotta be on this team, bro. And his college has a team, but that's a big time soccer school. But like I said to Sebastian, now that he played this well in this tournament, I'm hoping they're gonna just bring him on board, give him a scholarship. What's better for him to big up to his dad, Bert, you know what I'm saying, and the rest of his family, his granddad, One Love Bassi, and the Chelsea and all his family. This kid is a good talent, man. The captain, Courtney, very good player. Very good player. I mean, Courtney's confidence, the way he led the boys, I really think that he is really somebody that I'm thinking, and I know he's on the senior men's as well too. So I know that with all these different players that we have, I think that these two, Stephen Pear, I think did well too. That's a player there from Greg's, man. Such a good player, sharp on the ball, And I mean, and with these guys, I'm thinking the goalkeeper there. I forgot his name. I know he's gonna kill me when he see me, because he always see me and he come to me first off. And yeah, that goalkeeper. Big up to Ken for Volcanoes, because I know for sure he plays for that club. That goalkeeper, man, that in that game against Trinidad, I think he played in the first 2 games, but the third game, I'm not sure if he was hurt or they decided to just give him a rest. He did well. That I mean, in that Trinidad game, the Trinidad fans are talking about it. I've actually spoken to a club that's interested in Courtney. I spoke to the owner of that club, and also I spoke to Wade Jackson, the coach of the boys under 20, and he said that the club they actually sent to represent a coach at the hotel to talk to Courtney. So I'm really wishing Courtney all the best. Like I told Courtney, I could give him any advice. I mean, I love to mentor these youths. Black man on that team played well too. So yeah, those were the more standing players, I think. But kudos to the entire team, man. I think they did very well. Some moments where the legs got tired. But listen, these are things. It's good when you could see these things, because it doesn't really have to do with the skill. It's just a matter of preparation. It's just a matter of putting the right things in place so you can get even more out of them. And I'm gonna end by saying this: even even some players in Trinidad, some former national players in Trinidad who I sat with there, and they all have high praises for the team, and they're saying exactly as long as you get the right preparation with this team, Renson, and a lot of people are saying. I even met a female coach, and she said, "Mr. Haynes, you guys need to keep that under 20 team together. That team in the next 3 to 5 years together will do very well."
Wow, that's good to know. I think it's Tristan. The name I was looking for.
Tristan,
Yeah, that's Javed
the
said.
goalkeeper,
Yeah,
the goalkeeper, right?
yeah. The name
You all call me out, Tristan. I'm gonna see man be like, nah, you forget my name. Yeah, but big up Tristan, man. Gosh, I know Tristan is gonna even coming back on a plane. I'm bigging him up, and but listen, Tristan, it's all love, bro. It's all love.
Yeah. So before we touch something else, tell us a little bit about the player from St. Vincent who got drafted number 4 overall. As Kenny Baines' son. Man.
Yeah, and listen. This kid, even in the last game there against Trinidad, man, down the line, cut on two, beat past the keeper right there, right at the keeper come out, roll it right past the keeper, and all the guy had to do just go and just tap the ball past the goal line. Kimani, unbelievable talent. When you talk about skill, when you talk about, I'm telling you, I look forward to see him play in the MLS. And this kid is just 18 years old. He didn't. I mean, he's a freshman in college. Just started year one in college. Got Player of the Year. Just decided to go to that MLS showcase. Was one of the most outstanding. There were even talks that they were definitely saying he's going to be in the top 5. Adidas generation endorsement contract and all of that looming for him to just put a pen to a paper. Nike trying to figure out maybe we want to convince you instead of Adidas. So when you hear these things for 18-year-old kid, I mean it only goes to tell you. When he was, I know his mom, big up to his mom Asher and his dad Kenny. Kenny actually came here to Canada to see him play against St. Vincent, you know. And after the game I went and I was there with him and he said, Renson, I want to score, man. I'm like, no. You ain't scoring against St. Vincent. You could have scored against anybody else. You were scoring against St. Vincent. But he had a good game. I think in the tournament in those 3 games, he had about, I would say, about 3 to 4 assists. So he didn't get a goal. But when you talk about creativity, I mean, like Ken I said too, Renson, I give you and Shandel all my goals. I don't care about being a scorer. I just give you guys the assist. He would brag about that. He said, "Yeah, you go and talk to the people, them, and you be the forefront guy. I'm a laid back guy." So Kimani he absolutely listen. This young man, he's a force to reckon with. But I'm gonna say this though, you're gonna first hear this publicly, and I know he probably, if Kimani dad and mom seeing this, if not him, he's because he's 18 years old. I am pushing very hard to convince him to represent St. Vincent. This summer we got World Cup qualifiers coming up. Because he's under 21, it's a FIFA rule that he could actually represent St. Vincent in the meantime until he's 21 and he could decide he plays for Canada's senior men's team. So if the senior men's team doesn't call him right now, let's say they don't call him this year or whatever, because you know that, I mean, no disrespect to Kimani, that Canada's senior World Cup team or whatever, that team is a big time team. And it's because of him at 18 years old. I'm convincing Kimani, come play with Vincy Heat, man. Come and link up with Olex and Kyle and Connie Stewart and these guys and get some playing experience. We got Nations League coming up, Gold Cup qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers this year. So I am trust me, I am pushing. And I know, as I said, with me being president, you know I had to give that plug, right? Affiliate with me as president, it's even easier for that to happen. Please don't forget that.
Yeah, man. You have to use all the connections, right? So
Definitely.
that's good. We have a lot of things to touch, man.
Yes, sir.
Let me touch grassroots soccer in St. Vincent. Like what the age they start to play like competitive soccer in St. Vincent? Like for kids.
In terms of the kids, there's different academies going on nationwide. I know System 3 Sardine has one of the biggest academy here in St. Vincent. I know Tion Garden, our technical director right now, on the North Leeward side. I know he would be there doing different programs down there. He actually told me that in person as well because he originally from that area, so he kind of go back there in his community, do some work there. I know Roger Gurley in the Calico area. I know different guys who are doing, so nationwide. I like Chester Morgan made a post months ago, and I think he's correct. We need more of that. So we have some, we have a few, but we could have more. We could do more. And I got to get my plug in as well. With me as president, that is definitely one of the things that I am planning to do to support. Let's get more in every community. We need to have grassroots where these kids, like the Roger Gurley with these youths, Rogers there in Calico with these youths from a very early age. I mean, 5, 6 years old, they start. But in terms of competitive, I know that in terms of the youngest competitive, in terms of like an actual competition through the FF, I think it's like a under correct. I stand corrected, but for what I know, it's like a under 14, and then you will have like under 14 competitive, either under 17, and then you go higher. And then, but I know that there will be some other small tournaments where one academy would have like a showcase against another academy, so these kids will get to play competitively. But enough is not being done, and that's the reason why I want to be the president. So I have a lot of plans, a lot of support, a lot of potential sponsors and partnerships. I've gotten so much phone calls from so much persons from the moment they see my information there in the media circulating of going for presidency. Listen, I'm getting phone calls from all over the world. And I know a lot of them are like, Renson, we can't wait. So it could get better, and it will with me as president.
Yeah, man. In Canada, it's big. Like,
Yeah,
your kids will start playing soccer at 3 years old.
yeah,
At 3 years old, man. If they're
yeah,
interested in soccer, and then
yeah.
let me get a quick story. When my son
Yep.
was 8 years old, right? His team won a tournament. So the all the winners meet up from different tournaments, bro. There was an 8-year-old team came there. There was
Wow.
professional. Yeah, because those guys they take soccer serious, so they have a different league for those guys. Like who
Of
takes
course.
soccer serious, they have a different economy, a different league. Those guys practice
Wow.
3 times a week at 8 years old, man.
8 years old. Wow.
At 8 years, so they carry themselves, man. My son never scared because that's the way how these guys present themselves as
Yeah,
professionals at eight
yeah,
years old. So we
yeah,
need stuff like that to identify the kids them at a younger age. So we could start
definitely.
grooming them, Because we until 10 and 15 and 20, not
Oh,
too
not
late,
at
but
all.
yeah,
Not
we
at
need
all.
them from a young age.
Yeah,
Teach
like
them.
I said, the Roger Goalies and all those guys are doing that with them from such a tender age. And you would have this the FIFA, sometimes you would have the FIFA showcase where, occasionally you would do that. But you are correct. We need these things to be on a more constant basis. We need these things to be coming out from these communities. It may not be where we may not be able to achieve it with like through like a daycare. Obviously, a kid is 4 or 5 years in daycare. You're not gonna go to the daycare and say, "Oh, we need to present a coach to your daycare." But in the communities, like you said, 4 years old or 5 year olds, as I said, Roger Gully. I know Roger probably like boring, so giving me another plug tonight. But listen, I'm just saying for what I see in that in the Calico, Roger, I'll see Roger there with these toddlers, man, and I know other persons, Saudi, enough work with these toddlers and another place. So there's room for growth, but I'm very confident that it only gets better, my friend. It only gets better. I can't wait for it to get like that.
Yeah, man, that's one thing. And yeah, let's push for that, man. That's very
Yes,
important,
sir.
man. Yeah. So next thing, what about the females now?
Well, I mean, we could do more for female football. You know what I'm saying? One of the things, like even me looking at the primary school football, you know, and in the primary school football, each primary school team, you must have a female, must. But that's one female in every primary school team. You know what I'm saying? You look at secondary school football, you see the boys. You don't see the girls' secondary school competition. These are the things that needs to change. Um, it's work. Obviously, you can't just wake up and say, I'm going to do it tomorrow. But I'm going to tell you this. The clubs here got female teams. These young girls want to play soccer. When you look at what's going on, I mean, just look at that female World Cup alone. It's an inspiration to these young ladies, to these young girls. So I know for sure that the interest is there, but we just have to put things in place to accommodate them. We have to put things in place that we're going to be able to invent these programs and stick to it. It may not be as quick as the boys because naturally the boys are better soccer players. They would learn to play soccer from an early age because it's a known thing. Like culturally, that's the culture. But now that is changing vastly around this world. So I'm telling you, with me going in there, with me being able to implement a lot of things, female football, primary school, secondary school, female football as well, not just the boys. And I know even with the academies, I can definitely say I'm seeing a lot of females in these academies, but like I said, there's room for improvement. There's room for growth. Sponsors are willing. Sponsors, investors are willing. I've had conversations with many of them. Even clubs overseas who want to partner, like an adoption system where send a girl see me here in St. Vincent for a week or 2 weeks during the summer vacation, and you play against a female girl teams here. And if you like one or two of the girls, get them to your academy in Europe. Get them to your academy out there in Asia. I'm having these discussions, man. I mean, just me putting myself up for presidency, I'm blown away by just the amount of phone calls and persons that have been reaching out to me. And I'm humbled. I'm grateful. I appreciate it. And all I can wait is hopefully be selected where I could implement these things to make even female football better as well, like you just asked.
Nice, nice. So we touched primary school. Are you happy with the standard of football in the primary school?
Um, I would say I love the standard. I've seen some great talent, like that kid Pollard and different, that kid from Oriole who I think it's Pollard, yeah, who listen, this kid, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable kid. So we have some good talent. Just that primary school football finals there between Oya and the Beckway. Beckway team, big up to the Beckway team too, because Ralph and Ralph Stowe and Marlon Tusty James and those guys there in Beckway, Mercury and them guys, they've been doing an awesome job there with these youth. So the Beckway team has been doing well, very consistent in the last several years with primary school football. So I'm telling you, looking at the primary school football finals, it is a lot of good talent. I've had the luxury of going to several of the games as well. Look at the Calico team, Calico School play against Fayal Government School and against San Government School, and good talent. But I'm gonna tell you this, man. I would be lying if I tell you that we don't have we have room for improvement. Just the way that things are being prepared, there got to be more collaborative efforts. There got to be more things put in place. There got to be better training programs where these youths going to be able to practice more, master the skills more, better condition of playing fields where, I mean, you're young and you're not as good. So you can't control like Kenai and Colin, you know what I mean? So then because of that, if the field condition is not the best and you're just trying to learn, you don't have to master the skill or the art of learning to control and pass, then it makes it even harder for you because you're learning, trying to learn that skill, plus the field condition is not the best. So as I said, the playing facilities and everything has to be improved, and also the preparation for these youths. I feel like we need to have coaches identified, you know, from the football federation. We have coaches, we have a staff, we have coaches who are qualified. Let them go out to these schools. Schools football can't be playing, and we don't have these coaches assigned to these schools. There got to be a way. There got to be a collaborative effort where these coaches got to be assigned to these schools. You know, there must be. And I think with these things being done, it is definitely going to improve the standard. But pretty good talent, but definitely a lot more could happen in terms of the support and the training program and everything like that. And it could even get better.
Yeah, but back in there, while we was growing up, primary, secondary school, they had superstars and for primary. Kenai was a household name. Chang was
Can,
a household name.
can I,
Brazilian fame.
can I,
Yeah,
Chan, can I, even with being in there with him in Trinidad, I said, can I? And I told him, I made my national team at 20. What old did you make? Can I like, boy, chill. Boy, chill. You ain't. He said, Renson, I was 17 years old. I think was 17 or 18. Yeah, he said, him, Fame, and Chang. So can I, Fame, and Chang went right into that World Cup. Because I said to him, can I remember Score and Be Sure? The World Cup slogan, Score and Be Sure with the 1992 campaign. Them time I was a little kid running to people's legs, just trying to jump over the fence in Annisville to get in, sneaking behind somebody when they passed the ticket. And he said, Ren said, that I made that team coming in as a 17-year-old, I think it was me, Chang, and Fame. So yes, secondary school football was big. Even in my time, winning two different championships with grammar school and then with the community college, I won the two there as well. Even in my time, man, school finals, 7,000 people in Victoria Park easily.
yeah, man.
You had to have ropes to keep
The
people off the
rivalry
top.
was crazy too. The
Oh,
rivalry with
yes.
grammar school and St. Martin's.
Oh,
Come on.
that grammar school, St. Martin, man, I hate St. Martin players to this day because of that, man. Them guys made me cry, man. That first finals, St. Martin, I think, defeated us in the semi-finals. I cried.
I
Then
know, man.
Central Lee was secondary with Pato Caswell, man. He beat us
Yeah,
in the finals. I cried.
I know.
And then that next year, boy, I took revenge on them boys. So it was good, but it was big, man. That school's football, huge. And so we got to get back to those days. But like I just said, everything I just told you concerning the support, the partnership, the sponsorship, the preparation, the collaborative effort between the Ministry of Education or Sports Department, and the local football federation and the sponsors. These youths need encouragement. There got to be investment. You can't win. I gotta say it, man. I gotta say this. You can't win a school's football and you don't have prize money. You can't win a school championship and you don't get a couple $1,000 that you could put back into your school program. That you could, help to buy some refreshments, help to buy a brand new uniform for the next year. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that gotta change. Me as president, I can guarantee because I can't talk for nobody else. So me as president, you're not gonna have an SVGF of secondary schools football and you don't get at least 5, 10,000 or whatever for the winning team. I mean, come on. This is modern days. These kids need shoes. These kids need different things.
Yeah,
When I did a jingle ball event there in December, just by me hearing this, and I've spoken to coaches. I'm not gonna call the names, but I've spoken to coaches there coaching who do that in secondary school and primary school. And when I heard not even a dollar, I decided to give $200 each and a brand new soccer ball to the most outstanding primary school player, to the most outstanding junior secondary school player, and senior secondary school. At the Jingle Ball event, I gave them $200 each and a brand new soccer ball. We got to encourage these people, man.
yeah, I have to. We have to. But one name we didn't touch. Archie. Archie was a
Archie,
Archie was a
Bal-
legend from primary school to high school.
Archie Valentine.
Yeah, man, a
Yeah,
legend.
I heard that. I
You
heard
know
that.
that?
Yeah, I obviously he was older than me,
But
so I
what?
didn't see that.
But
But
one
being in
time
New York, there,
yeah, we grew up together. He was better than Kenai.
huh?
He was better than Kenai at one time, bro.
Wow, wow. Yeah, but I definitely heard he was, and I know even in that same World Cup '92 sojourn, when Kenai said he, Fame, and Chang made that team, Archie actually came back. So big up to Archie, Derek, and Spragai. You know what I mean? Those guys came back there from New York. They were the foreign-based players that came to join that same team. So yes, Archie, and I've had the privilege to play with him there in New York as well. I played with the Highland Lions when I moved up there just before I got my scholarship. And Archie's a pretty good player, but honestly, and no disrespect to him, I don't know him from like primary school. But if you're saying that then he was unbelievable, I'm not surprised because Archie playing with him there in New York, I could see greatness. So I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
surprised. He was here.
We grew up together, man.
Wow.
Archie was probably senior team from when in high school for French's senior team, and the
Oh,
team was
wow.
like Mitch Ballantyne, Awo, 20. That team was not easy team to make, and he was playing for that team.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Big
Wow.
up
You give me
Archie,
some
man.
history on Archie there, boy. When I come back to New York, I gotta salute Archie in a different way, boy.
That my
That's good.
people. That my people's man. So
Yeah, man.
okay. What about the league now? The quality of the league soccer. What do you think?
Yeah, Renson Vincent.
Yeah,
Definitely, with me doing my events and with me doing the showcase of the football, with Jingle Ball, having a few thousand people there supporting it. Few persons came to me and said, Renson, man, you gotta bring this to club championship. Our national local tournament needs this. They need it to be hyped. I said, listen, I've been doing this promotion for over 10 years here in St. Vincent. So it's like a second nature thing, you know what I'm saying? To let the people come out, find ways to get the supporters out, find ways to get these teams better supported, find ways to make these teams more incentive. Like you see, I did a video about weeks ago about increasing the prize championship money for the national club championship. These youths cannot be playing for $20,000 or $25,000 for an entire team. Just transportation alone for that entire 6 months of playing football, bro. It's in the thousands, maybe about 5,000. And then when you talk about different things, your uniform, 2, 3 thousand, that's already 8, 9 thousand. I mean, when you talk about paying your physio for an entire 6 months, that's going to be a couple of thousand. You have what, $6, $7,000 remaining to pay the rest of the team? That's not good. And the team got to do other things, and the team got other preparation. So I made a pledge, and I definitely gonna keep that word, me as president, to improve that prize money to 50,000 for the senior men's. And if the lower division is 10,000, that goes to 20,000. Why am I doing that? I was a manager of senior men's team. I'm not trying to give inside information, but I was made privy to know monies are there. What the money is used for, it has to go back. Monies are being allocated to the different things. More money needs to go back to these teams. More money needs to go back to the preparation for these clubs. More money needs to go back into these community leagues where these leagues can get. I mean, come on. You have a league going on and you got to buy soccer balls. You got to go to a sports store to buy balls and you a league. You cannot be a league under the Football Federation and you got to buy soccer balls. That should be an expectation. You know, you got to get balls. These are things that should be supplied. The preparation, sponsorship. Why are we seeing these clubs and you seeing these club championship and you're not seeing a local KFC or a local Iron Brewery or somebody branded in the club championship? Why aren't we seeing one uniform, like a Juma uniform? Every club plays in a Juma. But if you're from Sanel, your Juma going to be green and black. If you're from Avenues, it's going to be a red and yellow kit. You know what I'm saying? If you're from North Leeward Predators, might be a blue with something else. If you're Open International, might be a red and a white with some black. One brand, one major sponsor. And all these teams have to do is basically come and play football with the preparation. It saves each team that couple $1,000 they're having to buy their own uniforms. These are the things I'm looking into. These are the plans. You know, when you look at schoolboy football in Jamaica, for example, you see DGCell across every team jersey because DGCell is a major sponsor. And if DGCell is a major sponsor, well, then that sponsor covers the apparel for all these teams. So these are the things that I have to do, and I'm telling you, it's going to lift the standard. You know, we need to make these coaches for these clubs be more prepared. Have training programs for all the coaches for these clubs. I'm going to have a management team teaching all of these clubs, doing workshops, doing seminars about how to manage football. Some of these clubs don't even, they don't have good accountants to continue to, to manage a budget of a team. They don't have the right programs where a manager of a team, how do you attire yourself on the sidelines? So, all these support for these clubs and these leagues, and with corporate St. Vincent on that, with apparel sponsorship and all of that, you cannot ask for anything better than that. These are the things I'm planning to implement. These are the things that I'm planning to put in place that would help improve from the playing on the field to the presentation, to the reward, to the accomplishments, to the achievements, everything. It helps with a holistic growth and preparation for football in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Where I came from was on an international level. I've had the pleasure to be in overseas, travel all over the world to play soccer. I'm bringing that to St. Vincent. We have this local mindset. We could do bigger things. We could get bigger things. We can achieve bigger things. We got to get out of that mindset that it's just local and we know. We need, when you look on TV and you see sponsorship and you see preparation of coaches and preparation of programs and each team got different balls and equipment just given to them. These are the levels we got to get to here in St. Vincent. And that is part of my major plan.
Nice. I loving it. So, one thing is growing up playing soccer back home, like the league in tongue. It would be so nice because when the French is playing against Sign Hill, man, the whole of Sign Hill coming out, bro.
Yes,
you understand?
Mm-hmm.
The tension is being in the stadium was amazing because Sign Hill, they're singing and dancing, and the Frenchies have their own stand and there, and the other people in the other stand. That was amazing back in the day. It was like more community kind of vibes,
Well, you see, and I'm gonna tell you this. Last year, was it last year? No, time flies. Last year, the year before. Time flies so quick. I think it's the year before. Right after we coming up to the COVID, I wanted to do like a interleague tournament, and then obviously for different reasons. I'm not gonna get into that, but I wasn't allowed to do it. I wanted to do like a 2-3 weeks tournament, San Hill, and call it the Community Shield, San Hill, Kingston, Calico, Leyu, Baga, and that. I was not. I met with the federation, and for different reasons, they say Renson, but I knew what it was. They just know that I was gonna come with this awesome idea of just. So it was trimmed down to just 3 days. 3 days when I did and I had only 8 teams because of the shortness of the time. I had to just select 8 teams. Sanel actually won that, and it was a community shield, like a community's best of the best. And the finals was Sanel against, I I think it was Lee, you were one of them, and that was big, man. That weekend, I had it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, thousands of people. So that is exactly a replica of how it needs to be. And me, I'm telling you, community football is huge. Now I'm going to say this through FIFA. FIFA support the clubs. FIFA, you're not going to really go to FIFA and say, oh, we have the LEU community team and so forth. FIFA focus on clubs, but this is where the right management comes in. This is where having the right person as president comes in, because now as a you have to be able to generate sponsorship, generate endorsements, generate funds where you could have these community shields. Soon after the club championship is done, my plan is to move into the interleague, where the league you would, which is like in the summer, because the club championship will be done. Then you go into the leagues, the Calico League, the Liu League, the Baga League, the Georgetown League, and from each of these leagues now, you pick your all-star team. So now you have Calico coming up against Liu, San Hill coming up against Kingston. That is what drives football as well. Because listen, say what you want. It's big with club championship. But you see community football, like you're saying, listen, think back about Thompson Floodlight. That's all I gotta say. Think back about Thompson Floodlight. See how the impact was. See how big that was. So we cannot forget these communities. We cannot forget these community tournaments. So in addition to the clubs, I have major plans to revive community football. We call it interleague, if it's that's more familiar for persons. Reviving that in a level where the sponsorship and prize monies never heard of before. And why? Why am I this confident? Because I've been doing sports promotion for over 10 years. Because I have relationship with corporates in Vincent. When you look at my events and you look at the bottom with all my sponsors, I have relationships with them. They are very confident that if someone like me is there as president, they are going to invest. They want to be a part. Are they discouraged right now? Yes, they are. They're not too impressed with the way things are with football in St. Vincent right now. I promise them I'll make that change. They've reached out to me and said, Renson, we are anticipating you being a president because we know for what you're doing with your football promotions here, we have relationship with you. We are willing to partner with you. We wish you all the best and hope that you will be successful as president. And it's gonna definitely get to a different level.
Wow, nice to know, nice to know. So if you just join us, we're speaking to Renson. He's running to be the president of St. Vincent Football Federation. Wait, when is before we get to that, when is the election?
March 21st, Thursday, March 21st.
Nice, nice, nice. So now, since they're playing soccer in the 80s, 90s, they're talking about floodlight soccer and a home for soccer. Now it's 2024. We're still not playing soccer in the night, and we still don't have a stadium, a home for soccer in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Part of my plan as well. I know with regards to, let me touch base with the home of soccer first. I know there are other initiatives, I would say. Listen, this is football politics, so you got to be careful with the words. You know what I'm saying? This home for football, the current administration. Let me put it that way. The current administration is talking about several years now for home for football. I'm hearing to the grapevine, obviously, because I'm running for president. I don't have the privy to information like before because I always had a good relationship with the guys at EFF and even the executive members. Now with me running for president, boy, I can't even get a... Listen, I don't, even if because they would think I'm trying to use it against them because of my campaign. So, but for what I've heard and for what I've known, I know there was official documentation there with the deed and everything, with a piece of land purchase in the Leeward area, Bookament area for home for football. I have also was in another meeting this a couple of days ago with regards to some updates on that, which doesn't sound too pleasing, but I'm not going to get involved with that politics. But so what I'm going to tell you is, me as president, that's definitely a priority. I've heard that FIFA has already allocated funds for that. It's got to get going. For lighting, the Brighton facility should be getting lighting very soon. We got to get going. It's been years. When you look at the facility, the camp facility there in Brighton, I mean, listen, man, I was a manager of the senior men's national team, so I'm not going from hearsay. Bunk beds? Nah, bro. These are grown men. Grown men don't need to be on bunk beds. You're not going to bring Trinidad and Jamaica and Costa Rica and Honduras here, and they're going to be it. And now you have a Sanders. They're going to be in Sandals. They're going to be in a Holiday Inn. They're going to be at the Grenadines House, Sunset Street, comfortable rooms, air conditioned, flat screen TV in their comfort, and senior men's on bunk beds. These are the things I've actually looked out. Look, I mean, listen, we have to change that facility, that technical center, that dorm area must be upgraded. We have senior men national team who are husbands, senior men national players who are husbands, senior men national players who got children. They work, some of them, are professionals in different ways. And to tell somebody go be in a bunk bed, nah, bro, we got to change it. So the plans is, with the light in there, the facility in Brighton, hopefully we get it sooner than later. There got to be different plans. Nationwide, Calico playing field was lit. Now the lights are down because of malfunctioning, and it was a safety threat because of some of the lights were actually, there was actually a situation where lights were hanging, just ready to break, and there was actually a situation where one of them fell, and these are weighing probably 25, 30 pounds. I mean, God forbid someone was under that light when it broke and fell. So because of that, it took them all down. Victory Park, that's the only lit playing field right now. I think Park Hill or whatever, but that's cricket. We need more playing fields with. We need to have night soccer. When persons or when corporate St. Vincent are done with their busy day, they come and look at a 6 and an 8 p.m. game. When these players are done with a busy day, they could go home and relax for 2 hours and come back at 7 p.m. for a club championship or community game. When teams are busy and because of the limits of playing fields, Hope International want to use Sand Hill to train. But guess what? Sand Hill FC wants to use Sand Hill to train as well. So, okay, you do a shift system. Hope International, you come in at 5:30, and Sand Hill, you will come in at 7:30 because there is lights. So, these things create possibilities where we could do a shift system if we have lights. Now, because we don't have lights, every team got to come on different playing fields. I know the Brighton playing field there has been overused because we don't have Brighton, Storms, Calico. I mean, and everybody got to come, and the national team got to train in that playing field, and you got so much clubs in the community. Everybody can come and train at the same time. So we need more lit playing fields. We need better preparation for the national technical center there for the national teams. We need a full-time gym there at the facility of the technical center. And I look at my boy Atiba Harris in St. Kitts, who's the president there, and he's showcasing that technical center there, man. It makes me feel bad. I'm going to be honest. When you look at the way things have upgraded there in St. Lucia, these folks, I was in Trinidad there, and I'm driving by, and Kenai said, "Look there, Renson," because Kenai knows. Renson, look there. That light is on. It comes off at 10. You go a few miles down, Renson, look, another field there. That light is on till 10. We coming back from the game on Sunday in Trinidad after 9 p.m. After 9 p.m. when Trinidad played the last game there against Canada on Sunday night. Tuesday night, sorry. On our way back, Kenai is showing me, Renson and I played some Masters game here a few days ago. On that field at about 10:15 p.m. Packed. Footballers on that field. I'm like, wow. Kenai, I did not know Kenai was like, Renson, you ain't seen nothing yet. Bring the lights, the ballers are going to come. Bring the lights, the passion is going to come. Bring the better facilities. The players just need our support. The players just need the right things put in place. And I am telling you, Colin, we're going to see bigger and brighter days of football here at St. Vincent on a level never seen before. Who is promising you that? Who is very passionate about implementing these things? Myself. FIFA grants, never even thought of to apply for. I got my inside peoples. I speak to so much person, football administration in different federations throughout the world. Different friends and different persons, even who know Renson. You know how much FIFA grant and how much applications you could do to get even more money? I cannot wait to be the president of St. Vincent and the Grenadines football. I'm going to be tapping into things that, I got to give that plug. And none of these guys right now running for presidency, they don't even have a clue of the amount of things that you could tap into. That's my secret recipe. That sponsorship and these endorsements could come on a different level.
Yeah, man. One thing, the thing about lights too, right? Because parents, you can walk, you go home, freshen up yourself, and come back and watch your kid play some soccer.
Like I just said.
It makes sense.
When you get home from work, you could relax for 2 hours, man. Get home at 4:30, you relax because guess what? Club championship starts 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. These players, you don't gotta worry about leaving work early or whatever. You go home, you relax for 2 hours. You drink some fluids, you cock your feet up, you relax, and then you head to the stadium at 6:30 because your game starts at 7:30, 8 o'clock. These are the things. These are the things, man. I've looked at the under 20 player there. Black man, I'm sorry, but I gotta say this. He's a kid on the national under 20. He just in the recruiting for the police force. So this kid have to be in training camp with the police force, and then he have to rush back to train with the under 20 men's, and then after that he got to rush back. I mean, this kid is so tired, and this is one of our national youth players. And just looking at him going, sometimes he gotta just take a couple of hours and sleep there on the camp. The kid is tired. If we have lights, I mean, this is just an example. Instead of having to rush these youths, these under 20 kids, I see them rushing from school. Some of them, they got to ask the schools to let them off early. They got to rush to go and train. They got to leave school at 2:30. You got to get to the playing field there. You got to change your clothes and you got to be there training full. And then by 6:50, what happened? You're done. How good it would have been for these players to be able to get some rest. School is done. Go home, shower, change, get some hydration, relax, and like in an hour and a half, then you head out to training. You know, these are the things that lighting. We take lighting for granted, but I'm telling you, lighting puts a lot of things into better perspective, a whole lot, and for preparation.
Yeah,
When you
man.
see better results.
Make a lot of sense, man. So
Yep.
come back to the national team. So when okay, I know World Cup coming up. The qualifying for World Cup, right? So
Yes.
how that works? The team they just train like 2 3 days a week and then camp.
Unfortunately, man, the way it has been done currently is like you would start your training. They're actually training right now. These senior men are training right now. They've been training for quite some time, I must say. I think they've been training for about I could stand corrected, but I was thinking about maybe 6 weeks going now. The senior men seem in training, and which is good. Kudos to Tian for bringing them out. This early. Normally, they would say, "Oh, the team only come out a month or two before." Qualifiers is in June, and these boys are already there training, which is good. I applaud them for that. Um, but in terms of preparation, I think a lot more could be done. I think that the technical director need more support. And this is not for me to say that he told me he needs more support. I don't want to get Tion in trouble or anybody to think that Tion God come to me complaining because that's not the case. But like I would always say, this is what is good when you have someone running for president who was on that side of the fence. I was there. I was on the national team. And I was also there as a manager of the senior national team. So I know because I've lived it. I've lived it. I've seen it. I've been in positions where I wish I could do more, and my hands were tied. I just couldn't. A lot of things I wanted to implement as a manager that I couldn't. I tried. I was blamed even for things that didn't work out and whatever. Unfortunately, and this is the reason why I know me being that point person, me being that president, me being that person where I don't have to ask for permission for something I know that is right, for something I know that is better for the team and better for the coach and better for the preparation with the coaches. I want to be in a position where I don't have to ask and be disappointed. I want to be in a position where I don't have to ask and be given excuses that I know is BS. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that a lot more could be done, but the priorities are not there for the players. The priorities are not there for the coaching staff the right way. Funds are allocated to do different things, which I was made known, which I am made privy of. And I'm not gonna bring it up here, but just to let you know, when I see what funds are allocated for to do different things, I know the money is there. The issue is they were just not allocated, and they're just not allocated to do the right things where the priority is, so we could get better results. I am planning to fix all of that.
Nice, nice. So what gonna happen to the national team when they have a match coming up in June, and I think Honest Vale is under construction. I'm gonna be busy with cricket.
Colin, I spoke to an affiliate today, and I said to them, I already have my little headache going. They said, Renson, what do you mean? I See, because that's how proactive I am, Colin. That's how proactive I am, affiliates. And hopefully all of you will listen. I am already thinking, what are we going to do? Annisville is out of commission because of the World Cup cricket. So Vincent Beach Stadium is there. I see they just covered the bleachers. We don't have an administrative building there. We don't have a media center. We don't have dressing rooms. Cannot be used. We are already in March. Qualifiers is in June. If even you were to tell FIFA, oh, we're gonna get these buildings ready, FIFA don't play that. You gotta have these things been ready for inspections. Because, for example, if you're telling FIFA I have a new venue in March, FIFA would have already be in this month, for example, or probably even earlier. Okay, you told us that you just built dressing rooms to accommodate a national game. We want to come and inspect. You can't be doing something in April or May and thinking it's done. And because of the heavy construction, they will not be done in time. So the Sir Vincent B Stadium is out. What do we do? I'm thinking now, me going in there as president. I know my boy Marlon Gleaney in Grenada, the president. I know the last time St. Vincent went and played, the senior men's played in Grenada, the female played in Trinidad. You know, these are possibilities. Unfortunately, Colin, we don't have anywhere else to play but going outside of St. Vincent. Maybe St. Lucia got to be an option. But I promise that, June is already upon us. It's inevitable. We can't do anything about it. You have the election on the 21st. New executive goes in end of this month. You got 2 months. You can't build a stadium or have things in. So unfortunately, we have to go to a neighboring country. And these are the things that, like I said, have to be addressed as soon as possible. Part of my first 11 plans is to get things going with the home of football and get lighting, dressing rooms, and everything. But I'm going to tell you, though, I think that Sir Vincent Beach Stadium is the best bet we got, the best possibility we have right now to upgrade because the soccer field in the middle of the tracks, it's a full-side FIFA certified in terms of dimensions to play full-side FIFA pro soccer. So as long as we get those administrative buildings there and things put in place or dress rooms and whatever, it could be ready. I think that's the closest we have in terms of preparing a venue. After the World Cup cricket in June, I'm guessing, if we do well in these World Cup qualifiers, we're going to have games after June, obviously. So we will go back to Annisville, but we cannot sell it for Annisville. We have to get a home for football. So simultaneously, this year, getting in office, got to start working on that plan for a home for football so we could permanently have a venue designated for St. Vincent and the Grenadines football.
But Renson, that you guys the federation are losing money because if they have the home games, they could make some money for to help them out, right?
Listen, Colin, you really want to get me in some things.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying.
No. What I'm saying that is no, I didn't mean that. I mean
Yeah.
that I got too much shots, man. But listen, this is politics, right? Football, it is what it is. Those two last home games could have played in St. Vincent. Those two last home games could have played in St. Vincent. I just think that we should have had meetings. We should have had preparation earlier. When they shut down Annisville playing field to get ready for those games, my phone, my battery's dying a bit here. When they shut down those, I think we could have had emergency meetings and asked them to go 1 week later. Had it gone, the shutdown was, I think, was a day before we had that game in Grenada. One day before. I think it was on the 20th of July. And I think that game was the 21st or the 22nd. Are you telling me that we could not have pushed that out a couple of days later? The ladies, I think was November, right? I can't remember the date. I think it was November 21st or November 22nd, whatever. And then the females was in early December. All we could have asked was a few more days. Now we had to spend a lot of money taking both teams to Grenada and Trinidad, like you said. Cost the FF hundreds of thousands to go into someone else's home stadium where you have no supporters, where you have no fans, where you can't sell any tickets because these Grenadians don't, no disrespect, but they don't care to go to a game supporting St. Vincent. They want to beat St. Vincent. They're like, so the stadium was half empty, as we would know, and not half, but practically empty. But these are the things. Sponsors, endorsement, home tickets. We lost out on so much money. The mobilization to get these teams in Trinidad and in Grenada for the senior women's and the senior men's, respectively, those last two home games. I'm telling you, Colin. That's why I said earlier I don't want to say like I'm getting, but I'm gonna say it. Me being the president of football, listen to me, man. If I would have had to sleep in that sports office, National Ministry of Sports, I would have sleep, I would have cried, I would have begged, I would have bawled, I would have made sure them understand. Close Annisville just a few weeks later, please. You know what I did, Colin? When we closed that official stadium and we had that game in Grenada, I had someone go there in Annisville. Go in Annisville, look and see if anything is going on there. Nothing. So we could have easily played that home game there in Annisville by shutting that a few weeks later than it was. Who we had? We didn't have the right voices. We didn't have the right people to sit there and convince the Ministry of Sports and the Sports Council. This is what I'm saying. I'm not just somebody because I was a former national player and because I was a senior men's manager. I'm someone who want to come with a voice and an impact and an influence to be able to convince and influence corporates in Vincent, convince the government, have the right conversation, let the government understand this is a buy-in for not just the Football Federation, but for you, the government, for you, the sponsors. Have sponsors reaching out to the government saying, listen, the Football Federation is correct. We are losing money. Corporates in Vincent is not happy. Why do we have to go to Grenada? I would have made a case that we would not have been denied. Make Renson a president, and we wouldn't have to worry about these things in the future. And this is not me being cocky. This is not me being arrogant. This is me being confident. I know who I am. I know of relationships I have. But I'm telling you, had these things been done, we would have had those games. But we didn't have the people who were passionate enough, who would go on a roll and cry in the Ministry of Sports and even in the Prime Minister's office and beg to the point where they would have said, you know what, Renson, we can't go with you, boy. You two, okay, you know what? All right, play the game. We will, all right, we will close after. This has to be the passion. This has to be the commitment. This has to be the determination. If you don't have that passion, if you don't have the commitment, don't consider running for presidency of football because you know what? It's going to happen again. It is going to happen again. Because even when Annisville reopens, there are going to be other crickets coming up. And we can't just get another place ready in a month. So these things are going to happen. Qualifiers start in June. What are we going to do? In October. Whatever construction we start, it would not be done this year. So we need this same voice, this same passion, and this same commitment for even this coming summer. Because we got football starting in June. We cannot afford to, after June, want to say, oh, we got cricket. No. Let me talk to the Cricket Association. Let me reach out to Kishore Shallow and man, listen, call ICC, man. Let's talk something. Like we gotta look at the schedule and figure out, see if you can cut a deal. Cricket, okay, you come into St. Vincent. All right, I meet with the Cricket Association. Listen, let's look at the pros and cons. No disrespect to the cricketers, but how about you play your game in St. Lucia? Let's play this World Cup qualifiers in St. Vincent because we are anticipating 10,000 people in Annisville. No disrespect to your cricket, but if you are Women Islands cricket, play it in St. Lucia. Play a game in St. Lucia. In fact, we, the Football Federation, want to help you get your team to St. Lucia because soccer, Colin. Soccer is big. I mean, and there's no disrespect to cricket. But what I'm saying is sometimes you got to look at pros and cons. So cricket might be having on its schedule. Be the president who could convince the Cricket Association where you could cut a deal, where you could some sort of deal where the cricketers could maybe go to Grenada just for that one weekend because we have a World Cup qualifiers we want to play in St. Vincent and we don't want to surrender it for cricket. So you make these negotiations, have a voice who could make these negotiations, and then soon as we get our home for football, we would not have to worry about these things anymore.
All right. Okay, Renson, give me 2 minutes, get your water because we come back while you lay out your plans as a president if you get voted in. So give me 2 minutes, do what you have to do, and then we get back to the man with a big plan, Mr. Renson, man.
Cheers, man.
I tell you.
Hey, you see me? No more sleeping carnival done. Yeah, I jumping up in the burning sun. Yeah, and I don't care if the rain come down.
So we get a Renson a 2 minutes break, baby. So the man coming back and tell us his plan, his vision for soccer in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. If he come the president of this federation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, man.
Party animal, party animal. No see.
So share the life.
Take a wine.
Tell somebody, tell somebody.
Take a wine, take a wine.
If you want to know the man plans, the man coming back right now to tell us the plan soon.
Jump up, take a jump, take a jump. Jump up, take a jump, take a jump. Hello, Sola. It's nice to know ya. Ya come on over, come wind up on the pole ya. Hello, Destra. Ya come on, Tesla. And if you're Jester, you yes, Mr. from this Mr. Casava. Party animal, party animal, party animal.
They got cream, check. They got handle, check. They got wheel, check. They got sport, check. They got brain. We don't wanna break. We don't wanna break. We don't wanna break.
So if you have any questions for Renson, just drop them one time. So we gonna ask him one time to write.
Brand new thing is me bicycle. Doing all my jamming on me bicycle.
Hey!
Join in on me bicycle. Ride on your ride. Ride, Dubai ride.
I tell you!
Ride, Foxy ride.
Yes, we are YouTube. I don't want to get flag, man. So we're here tonight. Welcome to Vincy Lime. Yeah, man. We're here each and every Saturday from 8 o'clock. Yeah, man. We do a lot of different things each and every weekend. So if you're new to us, are we new to you? Please share out the thing. Give us a follow. Yeah, man. Subscribe to our YouTube page too. Right? We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch and Facebook. So follow us now, man. Give us a like. Tell your friends about Vincy Lime. So let me go back to the big interview with the big man. He's trying to be the president of the Football Federation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Renson.
Colin, say the next president. Give me the plug now, bro.
Okay, the next president. No man, come on. So far, hey, so far, I like what I'm hearing. I like it.
Yeah, man.
I play soccer all my life, so I know the struggles. And the struggle is real out here, man. So I really like the vision you have for the so far. Well, I want to hear all the plans first, and then we go talk after. So you have I know you have your plan there. So go through from 1 to 11, and just tell us something what you have first.
Yeah, let me find this. I have the first 11 plans, but let me just go ahead and put it.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah, man. So yeah, remember, share up the live, tag up somebody, tell somebody about Vincy Lime, follow us, man. Yes, yeah, we need some company, man. So follow us and make certain that your friends and family know about Vincy Lime. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, as everyone, the affiliates, I've had a pleasure putting out the manifesto. The manifesto talks a lot about football development from the grassroots, implementing different things to make sure that we see football at a different level in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, putting the right things in place. Like I said, and I will say it again, because it is the reality. Even being there in Trinidad reminded me of that. We have to get that local mindset out of us. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that football has gone on a different level. So humble ourselves as the local guys, humble ourselves and realize, first of all, we need the right things put in place. We got to get the right people, the right personnel. Okay? And as an example, let me say this before I go to my plans. We need a coach for the senior men's national team. Tiana, the technical director, is doing an awesome job. He's just in an interim position, but he needs the help. So he needs to focus a lot with his technical directing, and we need a senior men's national coach. We're going into a World Cup qualifiers that, listen, when I played against Trinidad, and like Ken, I will tell you, all players were overseas. Coaching was overseas, and nobody's trying to say that because they're trying to downplay our local talent. We're not. That is why it's imperative that we get our players outside of St. Vincent, from the youth level into these U.S. colleges and scholarship, out there playing pro ball. So when we're ready and we call, in my time, myself, Kenai, Butu, Kani, Chang, you know, these guys were coming in, Ezra. 12 and 13 of us used to come in to play for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. When we played against Trinidad, we will see. So what I know for sure is that we need to understand the importance of the international experience from coaching and from playing once we do that. So even with me going in there immediately, we need a senior men's coach. We need a coach that's going to come there with the right information, with the right knowledge and experience that would even help to empower our local coaches. So these are the things that immediately needs to be done. As I said, I've put out the manifesto. We got some great reviews regarding the manifesto. All the affiliates have seen the manifesto. They've gone to it. They've given us some information on it. They've asked questions. They've given suggestions. But in order to just summarize some things, we decided, in addition to the general manifesto, which is about 27 pages, I think, we summarize it into the first 11 plans. Plan one, the introduction of an official SVGF Hall of Fame and players, past and current, a players association. When you have the greats, when you have the Guy Lewis and you have the Royalty Lewis, and you have the Dorian Phillips coming and talking to these goalkeepers, you have this association. When I look at the way that, as an example, in Trinidad there, when I see the way that these Hall of Fame greats from the Trinidad national team, the way they have been treated there in Trinidad, the way they are being accommodated in Trinidad, I'm not gonna call names, but I've had to give tickets to great former national players to attend our local games here. That is not good. These former national players need to be called from the secretariat desk. Mr. Lowe, Mr. Verben Sutherland, how you doing today, sir? We have for you 2 passes here to attend our World Cup qualifier, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You will be seated in the president's suite. And when I go to Trinidad and I see this happening, it just reminds me that exactly what I'm thinking is what we are to be. We need to recognize our past national players. We need to get a Hall of Fame going. Trinidad has a wall of fame. When you go to certain places there in Trinidad, you see on the wall all the greats, and they call it the Wall of Fame. And can I actually confirm that? Because I told him I heard about it, and he said it is true. Plan two, restructure and standardizing of the grassroots and youth football, including school, primary, secondary, and college football competitions, and national youth programs and tournaments, which we said earlier with regard to the schools football and the academies. Plan three, hosting an annual talent showcase program to create opportunities for players with the required academic qualification to attend colleges in the United States. I was a beneficiary of that, but I had to go to New York. I had to go to New York and prove to this coach I was qualified for the scholarship, and it was given because of my performance. How about having a showcase here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? St. Kitts had it a few weeks ago, where college coaches from pro clubs in the US, in Mexico, in Europe, came to St. Kitts. And I actually was considering getting some players there. But remember, the football election was scheduled to be last month in January. So that's why my focus was on just getting the election by before it was actually pushed back now again till March. So these are the showcase because St. Kitts is doing it right in our back door. Plan number four, great professional development pathway for all football stakeholders, players, coaches, officials, and staff. These coaches need to be connected to more conferences, more workshops, more programs. My U.S. college coach, who gave me a scholarship in the United States, Mr. Sean Green, he has one of the biggest coaching platform in the world. Over a million persons subscribe to his program. That is my college coach, and I actually have something that's going to be coming from him as a testament and as a verification. He wants to come to St. Vincent. He has worked with different federations, and he keeps saying, "Renson, man, what's going on, man? I want to come to St. Vincent." He was so happy when I told him that I'm running for presidency because he cannot wait. He's gone all over the world, in Italy, Europe, Africa, everywhere. Barbados Federation, so much local federations in the Caribbean have used him in coaching development programs. We must staff development, FIFA workshops, I've seen other federations apply for FIFA programs that have been awarded to them. Where is the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation? They did not apply. Where is the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation? Oh, we missed the application date. Why aren't we playing Olympic qualifiers? I can remember years back. Oh, I can't call any names. Oh, because this person didn't send an email to FIFA in time. So St. Vincent was not included in the Olympic qualifiers. But then I had to bring the Jamaican team here in St. Vincent, the Jamaican under 23 team, because they were in the qualifiers. And St. Vincent was not in it because there are certain days where you got to send enough information to let FIFA know you are ready for these Olympic qualifiers. So these are the things. We got to do the right things in place. Let the staff understand communicative skills. We can be having meetings and then sometimes the clubs only know that a day before or within less than 72 hours. What changes that? Professional training, understanding communicative skills, understanding leadership skills. You may not be a coach, but you're working in the FF office and you have to understand holistic development. You cannot be someone working in the federation office with a responsibility and you thinking you're not playing soccer or you're not a player or you're not a coach. Your responsibility is as equal important. So you got to get the right programs in place, training, certification, career development pathways, so you would be ready, even if you're a staff working in the office of the Football Federation. Provide holistic support to all national players, physical, mental, social, and psychological. We don't do a lot of mentorship. You don't see a Kenai walking into a dressing room and a Rodney Chang Jack invited to come to St. Vincent and to talk to these young men for mentorship. We don't see in a community you look in Barley, you don't see Alex Anderson on a poster in Barley, and you see like a community outreach program where the FF is asking Alex to be there at essentially was secondary school, talk to the kids. When Ezra Hendrickson is here on vacation, why aren't we telling Ezra Hendrickson, come? We want you to be able to come and impact these kids. Ezra, let's take you to these schools. I have done it. I usually do it. We have career week in these schools. Why aren't we going there with the SVGFF showroom showing these kids you could be a professional footballer? You could be on ESPN. You could be in Champions League someday. We are here from the Football Federation to let you know the importance of aspiring to be a professional footballer. These are the things that you have to do from a local federation standpoint. Number six, establish an elite national.
Renson, hold up 1 minute, 1 minute. Like but this is about music though. Like in Barbados, DJ
Yeah,
Puffy won a world championship, right?
I heard about
And
that.
then yeah, right. So then the prime minister they had a big conference, bro, telling the
Wow.
kids that they could make money from being a DJ and they put it
Yeah.
in place to help the kids them. You know what I mean? Like so we need to show our local kids and that our Vincentian people doing big things out there and they aspire to do the same things, man. We need that.
As an example, Colin, my dad, as you know, was a famous musician. My son, Renick, my 12-year-old son, I buy soccer shoes for the boy. The boy say he not playing soccer. You want to be a DJ, man? My son actually DJ'd at a brunch there in Brooklyn, New York, last the 25th of last month.
Wait for Hover.
No, not Hoover. He did it at
Okay.
one of those Casey's Hideaway, one of those places. They had like a brunch, and I saw my son put up flyer. I was like, boy, who's on that flyer? That is me, man. Selector Nick. And I'm telling you, my kid, 12 years old. So like you just said, he said, Renson, me not have a soccer man. I love these. And he's done very well at the DJ. We had a Father's Day function when I was there in New York last Father's Day, and I brought my son and Sprague and all them guys were like, what? They couldn't believe it. So you're right. These career pathways as a DJ, as a footballer, listen, it doesn't matter. We need to get out of this mindset of thinking, oh, everybody got to be a doctor or an engineer, or everybody got to be a scientist. No, DJing, football, track and field, swimming, these things get you there. Everybody can do the same thing. You know what I mean? So you're right with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we have to understand that you need career development and whether DJing, whether soccer, whether whatever, there got to be those pathways because you could do very well worldwide in that. Number seven, access and improve football infrastructure. That's what we just spoke about. Fields, lighting, better surfaces, home for football, and getting all these things. Number eight, because I don't want to Drag you too long. Number eight, implement health, safety, and security measures at all SVGFF sanctioned activities, safeguard all participants and stakeholders. Colin, back in your day, no disrespect to you and Kenai, back in your day, and Archie and them guys, when you get hurt, you probably never heard of anything about insurance. Now, why are we playing club championships? And if a player gets hurt, there got to be insurance. We cannot have these players going back home crying to their families and they miss weeks from work because their foot is in a cast, and we don't have an insurance policy for these players that protects these players, and we don't have things in place that covers these players in the case of accident and emergency situations. These are the things that I'm thinking of. My team, when we put together a manifesto, and these are the things that we have to understand. Point number nine, implement strategy marketing initiatives to increase corporate sponsorship to benefit all stakeholders and affiliates, players, clubs, leagues, national teams. Corporates in Vincent, like I said. We need to get corporates in Vincent going. We need to see a KFC on the front of a national team jersey. We need to see the Sunny Water on the sleeve. You know, we need to see Subway on a warm up jersey. We need when we having a press conference with Olex Anderson or Connie Stewart or Kyle or one of those guys or Najma Bergen or one of them players, we need to see a bottle of water there. That's from Mountaintop. It's from St. Vincent, right? These are the type of corporate you got to get corporate St. Vincent on board. Point number 10, explore the prospect of establishing a semi-professional league in St. Vincent. I'm gonna tell you this. I see some other persons saying, "Oh, we're gonna get a semi-pro soon." We're not ready for a semi-pro. But is it something we need to think about? Yes, we do. We need to get corporate St. Vincent on board. Get them going, get things going for a couple of years. Let them see the benefit of sponsoring. Let them see the things that they could benefit from partnering with the St. Vincent and Grenadian Football Federation. Let the government see a template that football is blooming. Let them see interleague run for a couple of years, and it's not just 1 year where they're thinking, oh, maybe next year they're not going to support. No, we've been doing this for the past 2, 3, 4 years, and the success plan. Let the public start want to come back out and watch football. Let the public get, like you said, let 5,000, 7,000 people want to come back in Victoria Park to look at secondary school football. Let's have 10,000 people at Arnesville when St. Vincent and Kenai and them guys play school World Cup qualifiers for 1992 with Derek DuPont and all them, Rodney Jack against Mexico. I mean, come on. We got to get the people back into the game. We got to have the supporters who want to come out and support football. Right now, we are facing a huge decline. Club championship is not even attracting 1,000 people, not even 500, not even 200 at times. We have to get out of that slump. But that takes time. So yes, there will be a semi-professional league here in St. Vincent eventually. But are we ready for it right now? No. We have to prove to corporate St. Vincent. We have to prove to the government. We have to prove to the potential investors that we have to prove to the fans that we are ready. And how do you do that? Over time. This is not joke business. It's serious business. If you want Flo to invest 200,000 US, you can't just tell them you and the president this month, and I'm telling them next month give us 500,000 to no. It takes time. Convince them over time. So eventually we're gonna get a professional semi pro league, but it will take time. So like in the second term, me as president, going into the second term, 5 to 7 years after the first 4 years, we would be ready to visit something like that. And the last, which is the 11, enhance international networking to increase opportunities for local players and incorporate stakeholders in the diaspora. We have so much persons in the diaspora, Colin. You there in the diaspora. Kenny Sylvester is there in the diaspora. Milan Prescott is in the diaspora. Randy Luther McIntosh, my cousin that comes to Genoa, is there. Fitzhuggins is there. Why aren't we doing friendlies, international friendlies there in New York? Why aren't the people in the diaspora can get a chance to see our national team in New York? First in history. I tried to do that before we played a game against the US back in 2017. But because of a visa situation, it did not happen. We have Vincy Day, as you know, in Canada, in New York. Huge. 5, 7,000, 10,000 intentions. Why don't we have a SBGFF desk? Why don't we have a SBGFF showroom? Why don't we have water bottles? Why don't we have replicas? Why don't we have keychains? St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation. Why aren't we selling replicas? Why aren't we selling souvenirs? So these are the things we need to get the diaspora on board. Why, if we go in a Gold Cup, why can't we play a friendly game in New York? You know how great, how good is these Vincentians in New York and Toronto and Montreal? Would love to hear Sid Vincent team is coming to play in New York or in Montreal or Toronto before they play the Gold Cup game against Jamaica 2 weeks after that. I mean, let's be honest. The Vincentians are going to come out. They're going to be proud. These are our local boys. These are the things. We have to understand the power of our diaspora. We've sat around too much times. We could do meet and greet in the diaspora, ways to do fundraisers and make money. So much plans I have, so much initiatives. But guess what? I need to get there first. I could say all I want to say here, but if I'm not there, I won't be able to make it happen.
Yeah. So Renson, how the vote? Rachel was asking who can vote and how the voting take place.
The clubs and the leagues could vote. There was 53. And now, unfortunately, there's a situation where three of the clubs no longer could vote. So the voting is down now to 50 between the clubs and the leagues. So, like for example, you have the Calico League, the Stubbs League, the Barley League, the Layer League, which is where they have their own league within these communities. But these leagues are an official affiliate of the Football Federation. So they have a vote. The clubs, all the soccer teams, they have a vote. So altogether, it's 50 votes for this election. Only the clubs and the leagues. We have almost 40 clubs, and then the rest will be the leagues. And they're the only ones that could vote. A lot of persons even ask on social media, "Oh, how can I vote?" I've been getting texts, emails, but I said, "Listen, you may not have a voting power, but I'm gonna tell you this: football is for the people. Football is of the people. If I'm sitting with the affiliates and telling them my plans for football, Colin, you need to know. Vincy Line need to know. Rachel need to know. The whole of St. Vincent near and far needs to know because guess what? They deserve that. They are our fans. They are our beloved fans. They need to know. So football is for the people. That's why I would come to these clubs. I would have my one-on-one meetings with them, convincing them to select me. But I think this is important as well. People like you may not have a vote. Rachel may not have a vote. But the endorsement is good too. You know what I mean? The endorsement is good because people are watching. Like I told you guys today, Rodney Jack, he endorsed me as president. When Rodney Chang Jack is endorsing you as a president, Rodney Jack is never going to just call and you can't even get in touch with Chang like that. I was blessed where Chang reached out to me and said, Renson, I'm endorsing you. Can I endorse in me? The great guy spoke to him today at a function and he's shouting from the top, Renson, you is what I want for president. These things feel good. They don't have a vote, but they have a voice. That's why. So I still reach out to them and still appreciate the fact that they're endorsing me, although they don't have a vote. Because I promise you, they have an influence because the voters are looking.
Yeah, yeah. But I like the last point you had when you said that bring the teams out here that we go and watch the teams because the last time I saw Can I Play was in Montreal versus Canada. It's about
Yes,
six of
yes,
us. Well,
yes.
six cars of us. We just pull up the cars there and we drove to Montreal. And we had a time, man. Spent
Yeah,
a weekend
of
in
course.
Montreal. We had a time up there.
Of course, bro. And
Yeah.
these are the things that I'm telling you, man. Listen, Colin, you just hear half. But don't worry, I'm not going to take much more of your time because I know I've been here quite some time. I know it's after 11 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as well. You have a luxury of being 1 hour behind. But I must say, man, I have a lot of plans. And you hearing this is, I got a lot more in the tank, man, but that will be for probably another time, maybe another time before the elections. I have different platforms where I already put information on it. I have some other things coming up. So listen, I'm grinding, man, because I'm very passionate. I'm grinding because I know I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to transform football in a way never seen before. With the Vincentian fans, the players, corporate St. Vincent, investors, I'm planning to take it on a level never seen before.
Nice, nice. So before you go, let's wrap up everything and tell people why they should want Renson to be the president of the Footballer Federation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
I'm going to say it as simple as this. I'm the only presidential candidate who played soccer. I'm the only presidential candidate who have represented St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm the only presidential candidate who've never been given a chance. Everyone else, they were there. Like I made in my last post this week. For the past 4 to 12, 14 years, they've all been there in one capacity or the next. Every other candidate going up as president. And the way football is in St. Vincent, we could never be happy. They have failed us. They have failed the fans. They have failed these players. They have failed even their own staff. A lot of things have failed. And I'm not saying this in an arrogant way, but I'm saying it in a way that I know we need a change. Let me wrap it up by saying this. Even these same candidates running for presidency, I promise them, me as president, they would say, Renson, I'm not surprised you did a good of a job because I'm going to tell you this, Colin. They know my capability. That is what is ironic about this. Each and every one of them running for presidency, they know Renson Haynes' ability. And all I'm asking is, some of them, it's not too late. Maybe you could just send in an email and say you decline from going. Get some more votes. Don't let the votes out of the split in 5 ways. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm gonna be honest, man. They know because I know them. I don't have any enemy. I don't have anybody who no. They know. They all know me. I've dealt with them in different capacities in different ways. They all know my passion. They all know my drive. They all know my commitment. So I'm not saying something that they don't even know. I am ready to take charge because I know my capability, my passion. No disrespect to them, but none of them are nowhere close to that. This is what St. Vincent is. We are at a crossroad of football. This is what we need now more than ever. Renson needs to be the president. Renson needs that chance.
Wow. So Renson, if you want, you have your team, everybody in place already because the president you need, a vice president, you need this, that you have people in mind.
Well,
You have
well, well,
team.
no, no. There was a decision made that is no longer slate. I was the first person to come out on media with me, first vice president, second vice president, third vice president, getting ready to announce my committee members. We are the second nation in the entire Caribbean region. FIFA asks that we do the elections by slate, meaning I go for president, and if I win, I bring in my team, my first VP, second VP. Unfortunately, that's no longer the plan. The affiliates voted against it, saying that they rather everyone fight for their own position. So there's an election for president, there's election for vice first VP, there's election for second VP, third VP, and committee members. There are 16 persons going up for committee members. Only five would be selected, including a mandatory female. I think for president, it's five of us. For first vice president, I think it's four. For second vice president, I think it's five. And for third vice president, it's three persons going up. So
Wait,
each
wait,
man kind of fights in their own,
wait,
but
wait,
still
wait.
I have my team, and I'm going
Wait.
in faith that
Renson, to me
yeah,
that make much sense to me. Because okay, say you're the president and you're
yes,
vice president, you guys don't have the same vision. How that gonna work?
correct. Unfortunately, Colin, I was put asleep because of that same reason. That's why I was the first person onto the block to start gathering my team and made it public. But unfortunately, I put it this way. Seems like some persons want to get in and they're thinking, listen, if I'm not part of Renson's team, I still want to get a chance to go in as a vice president or whatever. Now with me as president now, I just hope and pray that these are people who are open, who are not going to have selfish ambitions and hidden agendas, where I'm the president and they're thinking, well, I didn't really care to him for him, so I'm going to undermine him as his vice president. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's not easy, but that's the reality of the time here in St. Vincent. Unfortunately, we the second country to have done that. FIFA asked, pleaded, strongly recommended, let us not do it that way. FIFA said, let us have the slate like what you were expecting, Colin. Unfortunately, we voted against it here in St. Vincent.
That gonna
The
be
club
chaos.
voted
That
I
gonna be
feel it.
chaos. That will be chaos, man.
It will be, but you see, this is where with me I go in my faith. I'm open, Colin. I'm open. When everyone else have their cliques and their clans and who's not dealing with who and who don't talk to who and I'm not like that. So I'm open. Unfortunately, it's the situation we face in here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We gotta go on. Football gotta go on. Football has to be governed. And that's why I'm hoping and praying that me as president, I'm already looking at the results, and I mean, my first vice president, Leslie Millington, second vice president, Debs Cruikshank, Tamara Barrow, she's going as a committee member. These are folks on my team. So I'm hoping and praying that they become successful as well so I could get my team. But if I don't, because it's not officially a slate, I will have to work with whoever. But I'm ready. I know ways in which I know I'm going to be able to make sure that certain things are done the correct way. So I'm still confident that it wasn't desirable, but I'm not gonna throw my hands up. Football got to still go on.
Wow, man. So, on the behalf of the whole team, Vincy Lime team, we wishing you all the best. You know, you could come back if you want to come back on the platform before or after. You know,
Yeah.
welcome. Yeah, man. So
Yes.
it was a pleasure having you tonight. We learned a lot. Yeah, man. I really like your vision, and I like the energy you have, man. I just love the energy, you know, and the
It's
passion.
passion.
Yeah, I love the passion, man. I love the passion. So, wish you all the best, man.
I don't even have a choice, bro. It just comes out of me. Even when sometimes my mom and everybody's a Renson, I'm like, Mom, I can't hit myself, man. It's just passion. You know what I mean? Even when I try to be different, I just can't. It's in my veins, bro. This is what it is. And I'm thank you so much to Vinci Lime. Quick question before I go, Colin. Would this be a recording that people could watch after? Because quite a lot of people message me and ask me if I
Yeah,
don't charge them tonight, Renson, can I look at it during the week or whatever? Because I told them yes.
yeah. It's on YouTube right now too. So what I'm gonna do? I'll put it in two pieces, part one and part two. So when I'll cut it up, and
Yes,
then
no
I'll put
problem.
it on Facebook too. So instead
Okay,
of to go through the whole thing, they make it easier for them. So it's on
no
YouTube.
problem.
They go on YouTube now and get it or Facebook. But we go
Okay.
edit it and nice it up for you.
I did tell them that. Make sure keep in the strong points because I need them to look at that and be convinced of who missed it tonight,
Yeah,
okay?
that's why I wanted part two because that's why I put the
Yes.
music. So wanna do
Yes.
as part two, so at least they go straight to the message that you wanna give out
Colin,
there.
man, thanks to you and to Sherry and Rachel and Sean Moss and the whole crew. Sean Moss, I know this is a bit, not, I mean, emotional. I know it wasn't, but, on behalf of myself, I just want to extend condolences to Sean Moss, man. Losing a wife at this time. I pray that God will bring peace and comfort to you and your family, Sean Moss. Blessings to you, man. I promise I lost your number, but I'll reach out to you in person. I just wanted to give you time because I know it would not have been easy. But I'm going to reach out. But again, my condolences to you, Sean Moss. And on behalf of myself and the Vinci Lime team, thanks to you. Let God's blessings, continue blessings with what you do. You've been doing a lot to enlighten culture here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and in our sports. So thank you for this plug and continue blessings to you all.
Yeah, man. Big up Sharp Moss, man. We can't wait to have him back, He has some time to grieve after grieving. I can't wait to have him back on the program, man. So,
Definitely.
my friend, big up yourself. Tell Ken I say, man, must link me, man. Don't link me at all. Tell him I link me up, man.
You have your number though? I will give him your number. I know you won't have a problem with that, so I'll give him your number.
Yeah. Tell him, link me up. Yeah, man. So, thanks again. Anytime, just like us, Rachel. You could come on anytime you feel like, bro.
My pleasure, man. Thanks again for having me. God bless. Have an awesome night to you, the listeners. Thanks for giving me that opportunity. Blessings to you, man. Vinci to the world. One
Yeah,
love.
man. That we say Vincy to the world.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Yes.
Different. My team, we don't back down from nobody.
Yeah, Renson.
Them Vincy don't back down from
Renson, so you're not backing up from nobody.
Some panty tune chop is everybody. Want to invite me in them, huh? I hope you can take it all inside you. Come take look who wine up all inside you. Come take look who lick all inside you. Come take look who union all inside you. Every time that they tell we
Miss Washington.
play properly, ain't nobody can do it better. Rated out of the sky we. Every show that the sky we. They going have to pay small fee. Even though me done move a long time, panting man they just call me. If you want see how we just party, put me inside.
Put me inside.
Want see how we just
Renson say put him inside, man. You want me the president of the Football Association in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
inside. Better pray to God we don't make your girl go. Put me inside. My team we don't back down from nobody. Them Vincy don't back down from nobody.
It was like true. Yeah. Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you niceness. Caribbean queen, you whine and you look the tightest. Come here, my baby. Come, let me show you